Hey y'all, welcome back. I thought I would go ahead and do part 2 of my getting through planner season without losing all your marbles session. Today we're going to talk about what to do next and what to do with all your lists. Okay, so you've taken stock. You've gone through your planner, you've decided what you need, what you want, or what you need, what you're using, and kind of look at it that way. Now, I want to be very clear as we go forward. Our first step here is decide whether something's a need or a want. You need something because it's functional, like I need a monthly view. I know it's purely overview and it's not fully functional for me, but this gives my brain an area where I can say, okay, I'm really busy this week or these 2 weeks. I really need to try to not stack these weeks because I know my social battery is going to be dead. Or like I definitely need my weekly. I live and die here. I definitely need my daily. This is my daily gotta have, gotta do. This is my brain for the day. These pages are basically my bread and butter. So those are needs for me. I absolutely know I have to need them. This is nice, but it's just an overview. I don't really use it. It's just fun for me to put down a sticker. I like the way it looks. Okay, so know the difference between your needs and your wants. And it's okay to have either. Like, I don't need this, but I want it. I like the way it looks at the end of the year. And I'm going to have it whether I need it or not. Some form of this will be in my 2026 setup. So, yeah, just know going forward a need or a want. Like I said, it doesn't matter either way. I just want you to have that frame of mind so that you don't think well, I needed this and it didn't work. When you can frame that as, well, I wanted it, but it didn't work, and that's okay. It also is going to help you when we get down to another couple of steps. Just know the difference between a need and a want going forward, okay? Because today we're going to look at things we need or want. All right. Here's the second thing you're going to do. Everything you want or you think you're going to need, I want you to make a list. I want you to have what it is, where you get it, how much it's going to cost you, what the shipping's going to look like, how easy is it going to get it, be able to get it, those kind of things. Those are the things that are going to make a difference, right? Everybody knows that Hobonichi this year, you can't buy a cover without a book. So do you necessarily need that? Is there another way that you can get that? Hobonichi is going to have tariffs, apparently. So is that something you're willing to risk to get that book? Or do you want to pay a higher price for, Hobonichi on Amazon? Or do you want to look at another American-based company? What does that look like? Here's all the logistics. This year is going to be a lot harder, so you really need to know what you're going to be spending going in. That's why I want you to make a list of everything you're going to want or think you're going to need. Doesn't matter. You may think you need it. Will you really need it? Who knows? But you think you need it. Or you think you just want it. I want you to make a list and a price list. And some of these haven't come out yet. Like some of these companies haven't posted prices yet. And that's not very not very, transparent of the companies. That's not very cool of the companies. I think if you're going to, post a lineup, at least give people the chance to like budget for these things. But that is part of the FOMO. That's part of the marketing. That's part of the commercialism. That's part of that. So know your budget going in. So that's why if you put everything you want or need in a list, when they do, pop it out, you can quickly just write down how much that stuff's going to cost you. And you can really start to look at, is it really a want or a need? Okay. That's the important part of, this planner list, of doing this functionally, is to not become wrapped up in the, I gotta have this, I'm gonna miss out. And does the cover really matter? I'm getting off on a tangent, but I feel like this could be a whole nother like video, but I'm not going to do that. But does the cover really matter when you can make the cover whatever you want? Because they sell clear covers for the damn things. Just put whatever you want in the front. Well, we used to do that back in the day because there was only the black covers, and people used to slip pieces of paper or vellum between them and the clear cover thing and just go on about their lives. But now everybody has to have this special cover and rushes and pays no matter what the price is to get that cover. Now, if you have that open budget, then do you boo. I don't really care about that. What I care about is if you're making a conscious decision of, I don't care what it costs, I want that. That's different than getting wrapped up and saying, oh, I have to attach some value to it of people will only like me or my YouTubes if they see this certain cover. That's two different things. Or getting caught in the FOMO of, oh my God, if I don't have that cover, I'm going to die. That's, getting caught in that cycle is hard. So this is where your list of wants, needs, knowing what you already have that could like substitute that could be that, but anyways, that's, like I said, that's a rant, and I don't want to get off on that rant, but that is part of the marketing value these days. So please know that going in, they bait and switch. It's called the bait and switch. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Make a list of what your wants, top to bottom, first to last, and understand what you're going to want for your system next year. Okay. Now you also have to look at, I want you to, look at, everything you're going to want. So if you're going to a new size, you're going to need a new cover. Or if you're going to, and don't tell yourself you're not. You do. You just go ahead and buy the damn cover. You're going to want it. So that also means you're going to want new vellums if you're going to a new size, if you're trying out this or that. And yes, you can get freebies and you can print them, but you know what? Ink's expensive. I just ordered ink because I want to print out like fall vellums and stuff. It's $100. So even printing out your own, and that's including buying the vellum, that's not including buying the vellum, having a printer, the paper, like the whole thing. So it's not free. You know what I'm saying? A freebie's not free. And honestly, on Peanuts Planner Co.'s $2 Tuesdays, I paid $2 for this insert, and I can print it out for forever. That's more free to me. That's girl math. But anyway, because it's black and white and black ink's cheap. But anyway, so make sure you make a list of everything you're going to want or need. Make a full list of it, and then leave some space for put where it's from, what website. You can use these. These are freebie todays from Peanuts Planner Co. And if you don't take the today out, just wide over and put some washi tape or whatever. And, you know, come in here, make some lines, and then put, this is my personal declutter list, but like I did here, and just put like how, you know, what website it is, when does it drop, and then leave some space for how much it's going to be. You know, so that when you're buying these things, you're actually keeping track, so when you go forward, you're keeping track of how much you're spending. And at the end of all of this heyday, you can look and see exactly how much you spent to get everything you wanted. And then you can make some rational decisions of, was that a good purchase or not? Maybe I need to sell some things, because if you turn around and you know, sometimes you can sell it if you do it like immediately, but then there's the cost of shipping and things like that, and people are going to want a discount. You're going to lose something in that, but you want to keep track of that. So anyway, so make sure you have a list of what you want, what you need, and then make your list from top to bottom. You know, prioritize it so that you know exactly, you know, what you need to focus on first. Okay, that's step 2. All right. Step 3, pick the first thing you want at a time. So don't look at multiple planners. So when you made that list, what was the top planner on your list? We're going to go with that planner first. Okay, so don't focus on the other planners. We're not going to be trying to get overwhelmed. We're going to pick one planner. What was the top planner that you picked for the year? And we're going to look at that first. We're going to focus on that first. So that's step 3, top thing. Okay, step 4 is you're going to try to, if you can, make a copy. So there's a couple of things, like the Commit 30 you can print off. They let you print off layouts. People, when they do the layout, I mean, Hobonichi has the same dang layout that it's always had, so you can replicate that if you need to. Get you an A5, you know, a couple of sheets of cheap copy paper, cut them into A5 size, try to make the layout, and see if you can use the different layouts, different ways to try to replicate, you know, the list you've already made. If it's B6, you can do copy paper again. Just do the B6 size. You know, you can find the B6 size, or the size of your planner that you've picked. They've already advertised those things. You know, there's pretty average sizes. They're all over the internet. Just look them up, and see if there's, you know, how you would use the layouts, what that looks like. Try to recreate it somehow if you can, to see if you can fit all the stuff that you have to have into the things that you have chosen to do, you know, if it's going to work. You can do, like, get your busiest layout, because those are the times that it's the hardest. Your busiest layout. Does everything fit? Okay. The most of your tracking. Pick it all. Does it all fit? Okay. You know, and then make notes. What fit, what didn't fit, how does it look, what do you like about it, what do you don't like about it, how would I take my leave tracker here and work it into another layout? How would that look? How would I take my CGM tracker here and work it into another layout? What would that look like that is in that book or in those inserts or whatever? And you can do this with bookbound. You can do it with inserts. You can do it with whatever. You know, plain paper works. You know, you can get a B6 half Stalogy for pretty cheap, and mark up some layouts, and see what that looks like. You can do an A5 one of these, get a half year, do some mock layouts. You know, and I got news for you. Like, Hobonichi's not going to sell out. You might not get the cover you want, but they're going to have books. And again, just buy a cover to go over it and then make it anything you want. Like, you can change it every month, every day, every week. It doesn't, you make it to match your layouts. Like, people used to do that, so I don't see where there's a problem. You know, you can take one of those clear cover layouts, like I have on here, on like this nice Tomo River paper grid book. Make any layout you want, you know, anything you want. Decorate these up, you know, decorate this up, and then use this beautiful paper for an A5. Like, so, sorry, another rant, but it's okay. It's okay. Don't be, and honestly, if you don't do it the first day, you know, or the second day, you're more likely to make a logical decision. You're also going to more likely make a logical decision if you are well rested, if you are in a good mood, if you know, don't ask me how I know. Don't make stressful purchases during your most stressful day that you've had ever, and you just hit the buy button. We'll talk about that later. That's also a rant, but anyway. So make a copy if you can. Try out the layout. See how you like it. You know, do it with things you already have around the house, or do it with things you can easily, readily get accessible, or you can buy for cheap at Walmart and take back or something, you know, like, just to try it out. Okay. And also, you know, so, and then, you know, and then also look at other things. Like, I really wanted a Hobonichi. I don't know why. They don't work for me. I bought them several times. I know this. But they've been on clearance. So if you got the extra $20, $30, buy one on Amazon on clearance currently and try that out. Use it as an experiment before you pay the $70 to have it shipped on the new line. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I know it's a waste for $30, but I mean, if you really want a Hobonichi, pay the $30, use it for the rest of the year, figure out your system, and then, you know, when you move into your new one, you pretty much got it worked out, or you got it out of your system and you know that's not going to work. Or you can redate the thing and you've got a new Hobonichi for $30 because the tariffs and the prices and everything else going up. Buy them now on clearance and redate them. Like, let's bring that back. Let's bring frugal planning back. But anyway, says the person that bought a Gilead. But I digress. So, you know, that's fine. And then I want you to look at your system and figure out, go back to your want system. Go back to your want system. Where'd it go? Here. We're going to pretend like this is your want system. And then figure out how many books it's going to take to do your system. So, like, I know if I go back, like, this is the reason Hobonichi doesn't work for me. Because you have your monthly, your weeklies, that's all fine. But when it gets to the dailies, even with an A5, it would take 2 days per page. That's just the way my brain works. I like my schedule on one side and some notes, and then I like to have my to-do list. You know, that's why on personal, it takes like 4 pages a day. I have my schedule, I have a home to do, work to do, I have a bunch of notes. And I know that because my brain likes white space, it's not going to like, I have a tendency when it gets like this, I'll rewrite it. I'll go to I'll take all this and I'll turn it into some lists or something, because this kind of mucks with my brain. It's too much on a page. And, you know, it'll get overwhelming to me. And I have to rearrange it or rewrite it or whatever to make some sense out of this. I had to take this and put it on some sticky notes and like micro categorize it so that I could get some stuff done. Like that's just the way it works for me. So I know that's why bound book isn't great for me, because I can take that out, put some new in, or have extra and blah, blah, blah. And rewrite it to make my brain feel more functional. I can't do that in a bound book. But anyway, that's another rant. But anyways, so we're going to take the system, figure out what it's going to take to fit it all in, and then kind of highlight those things so that you know those are your top things that you want. So if you don't get anything else, make sure you're getting those top things so you can kind of have a focus going into this thing. All right. So those are my, those are kind of my top tips for the logistics of finding your new planner system. Okay. So one, pick the, one, do you need it or do you want it? So really, really think about that. Do you need, do you want? Not so much for your dollar bill, but for your mind shift. So if you want it, but didn't need it, like you're not hinging hopes of, I need this. Do you really need it to be functional, or do you just want it because you want your planner to have a certain aesthetic or look a certain way? Those are two different baskets. And it's okay spending the money for something you want, not need. That's perfectly fine. That's not what I'm saying. I just want you to have that mind shift. So if it doesn't work out, it's not the end all be all, and you're not scrambling to buy 1,000 other things. Okay. Okay. 2, make a list of your wants from top to bottom, and make sure you prioritize it and all the things that are going to have to go with it. Cover, whatever, vellums, I always try to say, don't pick another size for a new year. That's a mid-year shift. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't pick another size for a new year, because you're going to want to buy everything for that size. And if it doesn't work out, then you got no planner system at all. Use what you know you're comfortable with, or you already have, but that's just me. Okay. 3, really look at only one planner at a time, and then, try to block the others out so that you're making a rational decision and you're not comparing everything. If you look at one planner at a time, make a list of the pros and cons of that planner, then move on to the second planner. You can logically look at each pros and cons side by side of each planner that you want. And then, you can say, okay, this is Hobonichi. It's going to be really hard to get a hold of. Sterling ink, that one is at least domestic and I won't have to pay tariffs on it. Or Just Scribbles, she has better paper, I liked her paper better, or whatever. And you can pick the top most important things to you and kind of narrow that down. You know what I'm saying? So that you're not trying to make irrational decisions just based on, oh, this one's coming out first, so I have to buy this one before, you got at least a logical list in front of you. If you black out and buy everything, that's fine. Been there, done that. But at least maybe some sort of your logical brain will help, okay? And then 3, pick one at a time, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then 4, make a copy. Try to do some faux layouts. Try to do some, at least some logistical pieces of it. So you know what B6 actually looks like, that size, what that's going to look like on a spread. Because if you're used to Hobonichi and an A5, when you get down to a B6, that's going to be a little bit of a shell shock. But if you try to do like an A6, that's going to, I think this is bigger than an A6, but you get the drift. That's even more of a shell shock. And then if you try to do like a pocket, you know, you're going to be like, okay. Because those lines are going to get tinier and tinier and tinier. So, you know, try to at least look at the sizes. I did that in 2023. I think I still have it. Hold on. I still have it because I refused to throw it away. Okay, so this was all the measurements I took of each size, the planner, and then the insert. I wrote down all the planner sizes, all the insert sizes. This is completely messy, and I would have to go back and rewrite it to make some sense out of it. Even the companion, open, closed, B6 Slim, open, closed, Moterm, open, closed, B6 Chic Sparrow, open, closed. Like, you know, I did that for several things. What does Pocket Plus look like? What does the planner itself look like? Pocket Regular versus Pocket Plus. So that I could make, and I made some mock-ups. I printed out some freebies to try to see, you know, what I liked versus what I was thinking about getting into, and if it was going to be realistic. That really helped my brain when I saw the actual size in form, in insert form or layout form or whatever. You could probably find like freebie inserts with a layout that is kind of like one of your books that you want or whatever if you're looking at bound books. And you could go in there and see, is it really realistic that I can write on this? Is it really realistic that I could see it? You know, those kind of things. So I just want you to take that logical approach and kind of look at those things. And honestly, if you buy a $2 or $3 layout to be able to print, if you can't find a freebie, but you can almost always find a freebie, it's cheaper than, and printing it out is cheaper than, you know, buying a whole book that you realistically you can't write in. So just remember that. Okay, so make a copy of it if you can. And then figure out what it's going to take to fit your whole system into books. Some people have 2 or 3 books. They have a journaling book. They have this, they have that. So as you figure that out, you know, highlight those of what your tops are going to be, and then to fit all your system in it. And then you can, when they start dropping prices, you can start writing that in, and then you can know how much your system, your planner system is going to cost you. And then you can really decide if it's a need or a want. All right, so I hope those 5 tips help. I don't know if there will be another one of these because I don't know that there's anything else I can help you do. The logistics of planner buying is kind of hard. I understand the consumerism. I understand the marketing. I understand the FOMO. I understand the rareness quality that they give you, like, you know, and that's all great. And it's fine if that's your fun and your hobby and all that, and you have the budget to do whatever you want. And if you buy that book and don't get to resell it for full price, or you know you're not going to go hungry, it doesn't matter. But you know, I know people that have, you know, a couple $100 worth of dated books that they didn't use last year. Because they thought they were going to be something else. Really look at your planning system and decide who you are as a planner. And try not to get FOMO'd by other people's pretty, like me, I get FOMO'd by the Hobonichi. I want it to look like that. I want mine to look aesthetically pleasing like other people's. Problem is, my Hobonichi will not look like that. It's going to look like a hot mess because this is my reality of day-to-day life. This is my reality of day-to-day writing. This is my reality of day-to-day, you know, things that have to get done. So I don't I don't really go for the aesthetic look. That's not going to work for me. I'm never going to be that person. So I can't hold myself to that account. Now, could I? Yes, but I'd probably be miserable. I'd probably be miserable if I set that standard, because it's a high standard for myself. It would be a high standard for me because my writing isn't great. My, you know, honestly, I put all these stickers down and I hated it, and I'm just suffering through it because I'm almost done for the month. But I put too much on the paper. I decorated it too much. This was too much decoration. But I wanted to use it all up. I love it. It's beautiful. Tabby makes amazing stickers over at Southern Belle Plans, but you know, I'm more of a under decorate than an over decorate person. Like, I could have had just a couple of sunflowers, maybe, you know, this or this, and a little washi tape, and I could have left this off, or I could have left that off, or, you know, I'm more of a hint at decoration than a full decor person. Like these weeklies just have a few sunflowers, the yellow highlighter, and then a bit of washi at the bottom, and that was enough. Like, that could have been a whole day for me. You know what I'm saying? But I see the journaling and the junk journaling and it's gorgeous. Just like I see the passports with all the stuff in it, are the day designers that have like 6 dashboards. It's beautiful. It's great to look at. I think it would be fun to flip through. On the day-to-day, it would drive me insane. Because I would have all that stuff in the way of actually like writing on it and like getting some stuff done, because I need room to be functional, because above all else, my planner has to be functional. All right. So I hope that all made sense. I'm still working on my first cup of coffee, and it ain't even quartered down yet. Oh. I'm tired. I got to go to the gym and get some stuff done. And yeah, so I hope that helped. I hope part 2 helps. Just don't make it so serious, and try not to, you know, overextend yourself. I mean, those are the 2 things. Try to set a budget and try to stick somewhere around the budget, on this side of the equator of the budget. That would be my only other tip. You know, really know what you can spend and try to stick to it. Not buy things and think, oh, I'll sell it later, because that's how you get into the planner hole. All right, until next time, y'all. Bye.